you are competing for an end result, but you also have to be able to see beyond that. So it wasn't that I had a blast every time that I went to jiu-jitsu, because in the beginning it wasn't a blast at all. I was one of the lighter guys there. I was the youngest guy in the program. I was 19 when I started, and it was very difficult. I was always feeling aches and pains, nervous before I went in. In that first month I was nervous every class. But I would say that it was very apparent at how real and authentic it was, the experience. And I think I was attracted to things about it that I didn't even understand at the time intellectually. I just felt drawn to keep doing it, and I knew that I had to keep doing it. I wanted to test myself in some way of competition, whether it was gi or no gi or MMA or whatever it was. I knew that I had to have some type of, like a high intensity or a high stress situation to kind of validate what I had been doing. I had a training partner who had an extensive judo background. He had a lot of competition experience in judo. He basically told me, you're gonna get a lot out of competition. I agreed with him, but I said, I need some more time. Maybe by a year or maybe I'll have done a competition. And he said, no, I'm signing you up for the next tournament that I do, which is gonna be by our 5 or 6 month mark. We need to at least have one tournament done. But I kind of just relinquished the feeling of like needing to control and overthink it, and I just kind of let him go with that. And yeah, then we did the tournament. We both competed at that tournament, and then I realized it's not such a big scary monster. So it didn't change what I wanted out of jiu-jitsu, but it made me realize that maybe it's not as a linear path as I thought. I started teaching beginner classes just once a week as a purple belt. The amount of time that I spent at purple belt and kind of into early brown belt was probably the most formative for me. I think I started looking at it differently when I started thinking about more long term. So I started to think about making jiu-jitsu into a career. Really the only fixed goal that I had that I knew is that I wanted to continue learning and never be a stagnant black belt who didn't roll, who didn't evolve his perspective. I wanted that same journey of going from white to black. That amount of progress I had, I wanted to have even more than that from black belt and beyond. To me, competition as a secondary instead of a first, it allowed me to kind of have the broadest benefit of jiu-jitsu to me. I would never choose teaching and having a team and things like that and just give up on competing. But it changed from the primary focus to the secondary focus when I realized that when you give into a group of people or a team, you get more broad and more sustainable benefits. Like, it's long term.